going on? People, Myke C-Town here with our episode of Records and Ramblings. Before we get into the records, it's not even really rambling. I just want to apologize if you can see the microphone in the shot. The way this thing is, the closer it is to my face, the better the audio is. So until I can buy a boom mic, which I plan on doing, you're going to have to just deal with that. So I apologize for the unprofessionality of this bullshit-ass channel. So yeah, let's talk about some fucking records. The first one we're going to talk about, this is Algiers with the Underside of Power. I've talked about Algiers before. This was easily one of the best records that came out last year. I feel like it takes what they did with their first album and kind of expands on it. If you've not heard Algiers, I feel like if you took Saul Williams and put him as the head of Shadow Project instead of Roz Williams, I think you'll get kind of an idea of what these guys sound like. There's a lot of soul here. There's some post-punk elements that are really cool. There's even some like noise rock elements that they work into the mix. The shit is tight, man. Records on Black won't bother showing you that. It does come with this really nice big book with these kind of scribbled out lyrics, which gives it a really cool effect. And shit, talking about Roz Williams, it looks like something that Roz would have done with the kind of, what do they call that? Collage kind of effect. It's even cooler that they're from Atlanta. Even though I've never seen them live, they don't really play here all that often. And the few times that they have, I just fucked up and didn't go. But if they play here again, I'll definitely make sure that I'm in attendance. Next record I'm going to show you, this is Boeing with Not For Our Feet. I've talked about Boeing before too. They're a black metal punk kind of fusion band, which there are a lot of these types of bands, and not all of them work really well. Some of them just sound like bullshit old school punk. But these guys, they happen to do it very, very, very well, along with bands like Black Boot and Raw Moon, who I think is the best one, of course. But yeah, this is just some great riffs, great drumming. Everything just sounds really, really nasty. Records on Black won't bother showing you that, and I thought there was an insert, but there's not. But yeah, I only have a few of their records, but I definitely need to get more. The next record I'm going to show you, this is Ida with Will You Find Me. Ida was an emo kind of indie rock band from New York. Really interesting song structures. Reminds me a bit of Low in the way that they write. There's a lot of interesting things going on here instrumentally. And yeah, I also mentioned Low because one of the people from this band, I believe, is in the band Low. But yeah, there's a lot of guitars, strings, pianos, a lot of really cool arrangements here. A lot of depth to this band. There's female and male vocals here that really complement and kind of play off each other. But yeah, it's just a gorgeous record. Records on Black won't bother showing you that, but I saw these guys, I don't remember where, but I know I saw them back in the day, like around like the late 90s or early 2000s, I think. It might have been later than that, but I know I saw them, and I remember thinking that they were fucking great. I was really into the female-fronted emo kind of shit back then. The Ashes, Copper, you know, that kind of stuff. Discount. All of that shit was just... Know what I'm saying? Next record I'm going to show you, this is Primigenium with Intolerance. So yeah, I've had a digital copy of this album for quite some time, but I just never got around to buying a CD or vinyl copy of it. So somebody was talking about it recently, and I was like, God, I need to pick that up. So I hopped on Discogs, and I found one at a pretty good price. It wasn't amazing, but the guy said it had light cover wear. And I was like, alright, I don't mind a little bit of wear. Guys, if you can see this, does that fucking look like light coverwear to you? Alright? I contacted him and I was like, dude, you know, you should be a little bit more honest about how you list your records, because this is not light coverwear. This is pretty beat up. You know, and the guy wrote back and told me it was my fault because when you buy stuff online, you're flying blind and I shouldn't complain. And I'm like, no, dickface, you're a scum piece of shit who lies about his descriptions. So yeah, so don't buy from this guy. His Discogs name is James Mack Records. It's this right here. Yeah, fuck this dude, man. Like, I didn't pay a lot for this record, but it wasn't much cheaper than any of the other copies. And again, the point is, you're full of shit about light coverware. Like, there are splits. You probably can't see it in the camera. There are splits down here. The whole spine is pretty much worn off. There are dings. This is light coverware. If it was just that, I'd be like, whatever. But no. Anyways, fuck James Mack Records. But this band is fucking great. Killer black metal from Spain. It's kind of a precursor to some of the Portuguese stuff that's really popular right now, like Ire or Dolentia. But this is their second album, and I highly recommend it. And by the way, the cover is just fucking awesome. One of the main reasons I was really annoyed about the record being so beat up. But yeah, the record before this one is actually a little bit better than this one. I wish somebody would reissue that on record, because I do have it on CD. But anyways, yeah. Once again, fuck James Mack Records. Yeah, we actually went back and forth a little bit more, and the guy was just being a prick the whole time, not willing to admit that, yo, this is not a matter of subjectivity. You're lying about your descriptions. And I ended up leaving him negative feedback, which I've only done that once in my however many years on Discogs. And the dude pulled some bitch shit and went and like left some revenge feedback. This guy is rude. Oh, fucking dick face. Anyways, next record we're going to talk about. This is Sixo with The Odds of Free Will. I've had this for a while. I just kept forgetting to show it. But Sixo is a hip-hop producer from Texas. He's been putting out incredible work for years now. And I did a review of this album on my channel, so I won't go too deep into it. It's a great collection of hip-hop. Nothing too traditional, which is what I like about it. Lots of features. Chesky, Gregory Pepper, Henri Osborne, AWOL1, Open Mike Eagle, Milo, Micah 9, and they all are amazing tracks, man. You listen to this and you can tell that Sixto has a very, very diverse palette. The beats are really diverse, but he has a clear fingerprint on all of it that you can tell. And sadly, he passed away relatively recently. I believe it was a couple weeks ago. So yeah, man, it's really sad. He was so fucking young. He was younger than me. So yeah. Anyways, it's a great album. You guys should definitely go buy that from Fake 4 Records. Yeah, rest in peace, Sixo. Next record I'm going to show you, this is Soul Invictus with Necropolis. Most of the people who listen to neo-folk actively know who Soul Invictus is, but this is Soul Invictus's newest album. I feel like Soul Invictus is one, they are one of the innovators of the neo-folk sound and have been putting out incredible work since the fucking 80s. And this is no exception, man. The incredible thing is, after putting out so many albums, it's insane that Tony Wakeford, the main guy behind the project, it's amazing to me that he hasn't run out of steam. I'd even say that his voice has gotten better in his later years. The singing on this is really, really good, and there's an interesting atmosphere to this record that really can't be matched by any other band doing this stuff currently. Printed inner sleeve with some lyrics, and there is the man Tony motherfucking Wakeford, who is just, he's a genius in my opinion. But this album is really, it's really stripped back and it's minimal, more so than his last couple of albums. There's not a whole lot of instrumentation added other than some guitars and some light strings, but it comes off so beautifully. This is definitely one of the better records that have come out this year. And I know, since it's not Death in June, most of you guys don't give a shit, but I'll tell you that Tony Wakeford used to be in Death in June, so maybe that'll actually get some of you guys to expand outside of the 3 Death in June records that most of you guys talk about. But yeah, Soul Invictus with Current 93 and Death in June are easily the big 3 of the 80s and 90s neo-folk scene, so check that shit out. So, yeah, that's it for this edition of Records and Ramblings. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright? Peace out, boy!